Engaging red Chinese aggressors. Initiating Directive 7395. Destroy all communists. Obstruction detected. Composition: titanium alloy supplemented by photonic resonance barrier. Probability of mission hindrance: 0%. Target acquired. Communism is the very definition of failure. Engaging Chinese aggressors on American soil. Lethal force engaged. Communism is a temporary setback on the road to freedom. We will not fear the Red Menace. Communism is a temporary setback on the road to freedom. Engaging red Chinese aggressor death. The preferable alternative to communism. Enhanced photonic resonance barrier. Established stratagem. Inadequate. Revised stratagem. Initiate photonic resonance overcharge.
You again. I can't say I'm surprised. You and your ilk seem hell-bent on destroying everything our government has worked to achieve. There's nothing to stop me from killing you this time. Let's end this. I beg to differ. Once this facility is operational, the American people are worth... You're in over your head. Once you're dead, we'll finish off this pathetic... This...
Fire in maneuver! that takes care. By now, the Pride should be mopping up whatever. Let's get this room
Hello? Hello, is anyone
Dr.
there?
Lee, it's Sarah Lyons.
Dr. Lee,
I'm in the
something's
control
wrong with
room.
the purifier.
We're both here. What's going on?
Please, someone answer. I've been monitoring the equipment remotely, and we have a serious problem. The facility has been damaged during the fighting. Some of it looks accidental, some of it may have been sabotage. There's pressure building up in the holding tanks. It needs to be released now, or else the whole facility could explode. To release the pressure, you're going to have to turn the purifier on. Do you understand me? It has to be turned on now. If I'm reading this right, I'm afraid there are lethal levels of radiation inside the chamber. I'm sorry. I wish there was some other way, but there's just no time. It has to be done now, or the damage will be catastrophic.
Well, so much for celebrating. One of us is going to have to go in there and turn the damn thing on. Not exactly. So you're going to I won't forget.
If you're still there, the purifier needs to be activated now. You don't have much time left.
And so it was that the lone wanderer ventured forth from Vault 101, intent on discovering the fate of a father who had once sacrificed the future of humanity for that of his only child. The Capital Wasteland proved a cruel, inhospitable place, and the lone wanderer ultimately surrendered to the vices that had claimed so many others. Selfishness, greed, cruelty. These were the values that guided a lost soul through countless trials and triumphs. It was not until the end of this long road that the lone wanderer was faced with that greatest of virtues, sacrifice. But the child refused to follow the father's selfless example. So ends the story of the lone wanderer, who stepped through the great door of Vault 101 and into the annals of legend. But the tale of humanity will never come to a close, for the struggle of survival is a war without end. And war never changes.
There's nothing. You don't have.
Fire in maneuver! Well, that takes care of that. By now, the Pride should... Let's get this...
Hello? Hello, is anyone
Dr.
there?
Lee? It's Sarah Lyons.
Dr. Lee,
I'm in the control
something wrong
room.
with the
We're both
purifier.
here. What's going on?
Please, someone I've been monitoring the equipment remotely, and we have a serious problem. The facility has been damaged during the fighting. Some of it looks accidental, some of it may have been sabotage. There's pressure building up in the holding tanks. It needs to be released now, or else the whole facility could explode. To release the pressure, you're going to have to turn the purifier on. Do you understand me? It has to be turned on now. If I'm reading this right, I'm afraid there are lethal levels of radiation inside the chamber. I'm sorry. I wish there was some other way, but there's just no time. It has to be done now, or the damage will be catastrophic.
Well, so much for celebrating. One of us is going to have to go in there and turn the damn thing... Not exactly how... So that's how it... Fine, I'll do... Okay, I got it. I guess if this doesn't work... Good luck? That's it? Fine.
There's no time to discuss it. If you're still there, the purifier needs to be activated now. You don't have much time left.
And so it was that the lone wanderer ventured forth from Vault 101, intent on discovering the fate of a father who had once sacrificed the future of humanity for that of his only child. The capital wasteland proved a cruel, inhospitable place, but the lone wanderer refused to surrender to the vices that had claimed so many others. The values passed on from father to child, selflessness, compassion, honor, guided this noble soul through countless trials and triumphs. It was not until the end of this long road that the lone wanderer was faced with that greatest of virtues, sacrifice. But the child refused to follow the father's selfless example, instead allowing a true hero to venture into the irradiated control chamber of Project Purity and sacrifice her own life for the greater good of mankind. Thankfully, when selected by the sinister president to be his instrument of annihilation, the Wanderer refused. Humanity, with all its flaws, was deemed worthy of preservation. The waters of life flowed at last, free and pure for any and all. The capital wasteland, at long last, was saved. So ends the story of the lone wanderer, who stepped through the great door of Vault 101 and into the annals of legend. But the tale of humanity will never come to a close, for the struggle of survival is a war without end. And war never changes.
has retreated. We have a location that isn't going to help at all. We have
You
enough.
mean comatose? After all this, to be left in a state like that? Easy now, take it slow. Don't move too quickly. I was starting to think you might It's good to see you. It's all right. I have no doubt she refused to allow you to put your... We all owe her a... It's all right, you're safe. There was an explosion as the purifier started. You were knocked unconscious and brought here to the infirmary. We've been watching over you for days. I'm glad to see that our efforts weren't in vain. Indeed it did. The tidal basin is full of fresh, clean water now. We've been working to see that it's distributed to as many people as possible across the wasteland. In fact, I'm hopeful that none of this would have been possible without the efforts of both. Yes, we most certainly did. Between your help in destroying their headquarters and their subsequent defeat at the Purifier, the Enclave was thrown into disarray. Liberty Prime has been assisting our forces in removing any remaining Enclave forces. Just about 2 weeks. Don't worry, we've been taking good care of you. Well, that's really up to you, isn't it? The Brotherhood has a clear plan of action. The remnants of the Enclave must be swept away. The Pride has been working to this end ever since we took the Purifier back. The only remaining question is whether we can count on you to help. Indeed. We can use every... To that end, I'm going to circumvent our standard recruitment procedures and declare you a Knight of the Brotherhood of Steel. Before you do anything else, please speak with Scribe Rothschild. I'm sure he'll be pleased to see you again. He can brief you on the details of the last few weeks, as I understand that you've been through quite an ordeal. But the sooner you can talk to him, the... Please be careful. If you haven't yet done so, the Brotherhood is an old organization. The Brotherhood began on the West Coast and exists there still. In truth, the Brotherhood of Steel has been struggling for years. Honor, truth. Ah, no. Our orders were, and are, to acquire any and all advanced. But when I realized the extent of the super mutant threat, I felt it was my responsibility. Unfortunately, my superiors back west disagree with my assessment of the situation. And they're right. In any event, the Enclave's arrival changes everything. It's been over 20 years since we arrived, and we've been struggling to contain... With the arrival of the Enclave, I have a terrible feeling the super mutants are the least of our... So be it. The Brotherhood has taken over control of the Purifier, and is managing distribution of the water to... If you travel there, speak with Scribe Bigsley. He's heading up the on-site operation. As you know, I had my reservations about engaging the Enclave. They did not directly attack us, and I believed we had time. Their assault on the Purifier forced our hand. We had no choice. And once that engagement was begun, we could do nothing but see it through to the end. If they had not considered us a threat before, they do now. So we have spent the time since you and I last spoke, systematically locating and destroying every bastion of Enclave force. Liberty Prime has proven far more successful than any of us. Oh? Have you... Vault 87, where you found the Gek? We've never been able to penetrate the radiation surrounding. This information is in... My child, you seem to have... Please be careful. I would hate to lose you again.
Time, children.
Hail! Can I be of assistance? Plasma weapons certainly aren't saving them now, are they? We've been able to... Indeed I can.
Pay no heed to those headstrong knights.
It is the scribes. The scribes who make... Each order of scribes is dedicated... Sword, of course. Weapons, my girl. I'm the proctor of the Order of the Sword, you see? Order of the Sword, Order of the Shield, Order of the Quill, weapons, defenses, and Very well. Foul, always so determined to kill or cap. You want to talk... In the Elder's name.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
Well, it's good to... I assume Lyons is a meat... Has he told... Yes, I believe I...
Need something, friend?
Right in front of the map, if you please. I'd like you to get a... I'll give you a brief history of what's happened over the last few weeks and what's going on now. As you well know, this all began with the Enclave's occupation of Project Purity.
Hail.
Here. Thanks to you, their main headquarters here was utterly destroyed. They then suffered a second defeat at the Purifier. Based on a combination of intelligence and field reports, other Enclave locations throughout the wasteland were found. Cut off from their leadership, it was expected that their forces would be in complete disarray. This has not been the case. Based on data and tech gathered from these locations, we've determined that the Enclave forces are still maintaining remote communications. We isolated the transmissions and found their origin point, an old military installation in Rockland, to the southwest. Our advanced scouts have checked over the area, but no easy access to the facility was found. So we're making our own access point. Paladin Tristan is leading the team setting up forward base in an old car tunnel near the site. Once he's settled, Liberty Prime will be deployed. Prime's directive is to neutralize their defenses and create an entry point for the team. The team will move in, eliminate any opposition inside, and cut off their transmitter. Any relevant data should be brought back here. Now, did you have any other questions? If there's anything else you'd like to know, I'll alert him that you're on your way. Performance is exceeding all our expectations. He's been especially effective against the Enclave's vertibirds, for which we previously had no... We're fine-tuning his programming as... It's as I always suspected. Prime's real issue was energy management. And when Dr. Lee helped us solve that... It was determined that the Brotherhood should directly oversee the purifier. Scribe Bigsley was placed in charge of the operation and is direct...
Don't hurry back.
I'm sorry, I'm very busy right now. Far too much to analyze. Perhaps one of the other scribes could help you.
Country's most important historical artifacts, the Declaration of Independence. Huzzah! The time of British oppression is finally over. Now we can finally turn our attention to the super mutants, raiders, and rad scorpions. Thanks for listening, children. This is Three Dog, ow! And you're listening to Galaxy News Radio. We're Radio Free Wasteland, and we're here for you. Now, some music.
What's up?
I hope things are going well for you today, Adam.